Nyende Genpadi Sange Shintu Nikde Ulvargi Troku Namdak Shinla Chuparsho Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Kamniratayami Sange Chugan Suki Chuknamla Chanchu Bardu Dakni Kyapsuchi Daki Chunyen Kipe Sunam Ki Trolla Pinchir Sange Truparsho Sange Chudan Suki Chuknamla Chanchu Bardu Dakni Kyapsuchi Daki Chunyen Kipe Sunam Ki Trolla Pinchir Sange Truparsho Sange Chudan Suki Choknamla Chanchu Bardu Dakni Kyapsuchi Daki Chunyen Kipe Sunam Ki Trolla Pinchir Sange Truparsho.
Oh. Well, it's a bad situation. But we all know where that kind of thing comes from. Okay. So, yeah, this is our class 2, which is really like class 1.5. I don't know. The alphabet takes about 6 weeks to teach, depending on how you do it. Last week I had a long introduction just to get everybody going. And this week, we'll have less introduction. I hope everyone had an opportunity to make their flashcards or whatever kind of study tools they're using. Some people online flashcards nowadays, or on their computer. Look, you have that. Good. And then yeah, it's all for your edification. I mean, if you want to learn an alphabet, I mean, people learn at different paces. People like Ina, others who have studied quite a few languages. They know how to study language and they learn fast, and that's great. If it's just your like second or third language, you might not know the fastest ways to learn, but I'll share with you the ways I've learned and adapt them to your own mind and habits so that you can learn efficaciously for a fancy English word. Okay. So pop quiz, haha. So everybody, hi Venerable Kadrin. Nice to see you. Who's in this class? I should look at everyone. Some people. Uta's in my class?
Yeah.
Oh, hi Uta.
Most of people are hiding.
That's
yeah,
okay.
I just rushed in, sorry to be late.
Oh, no problem. A pleasure to have you.
Yeah, so nice to be here.
Wonderful. I want to have more German students, so Uta, you're going to be my German Tibetan student to help me with that, okay? Awesome. German is the first language I studied, and I was very lazy in my German studies, and it still haunts my ability to speak German, so don't be like me in Tibetan, study hard, or it's hard to, after you develop bad habits, it's harder to change them than to just keep the good habits in the first place. Welcome, Uta. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, and welcome all of you. Okay, pop quiz. Who was here last week? Leah was, and she made flashcards. So I'm going to pull up our PowerPoint made by my lovely Russian, Ukrainian, Mexican, American students. And then we're gonna have a quiz. Let's see. And I hope people are using the playlist. I had a lot of fun making it. And I made it in order. So the first half is to learn Uchen, which is the style of Tibetan script that we're studying. Ina, what does U mean?
It means head or capital.
Yay! I thought go meant head. Why do we say U?
It's more central.
It's the honorific for head.
Okay.
Hey! That's why the chanting master, who Ina was in our class, is the Umse, the one who says this, the holy one who speaks the prayers, right? Ooh. Cool?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Uchen means it has a head, and then there's Ume, which is also on my playlist near the bottom, which I don't know Ume yet. Geshe-la has threatened to teach us Ume this term in the mixed nuts class. And so maybe I'll learn it, and maybe I'll teach it so that I can learn it faster once I know some. Ume just means without a head. It's just like cursive style Tibetan script. Tibetan, like English or other languages, has many different fonts, different ways of writing the same thing. Okay, here we are, presenter mode. All right. Okay, and thank you again to the team who made these PowerPoints. It's not really my style of teaching, but they are very useful, so I appreciate it. Okay, so we will start with Leah, because I know she was here last week. Pronounce this letter, the first letter of the Tibetan alphabet.
Ka.
Ooh, somebody studied. Okay, pronounce this one, the third column, fifth row.
Da.
Ooh, good. Okay, you pass. It's a pop quiz. You don't have to know everything.
I'm sorry, Word. Who is the owner of the room? There are people that cannot enter the room.
Oh, because I'm in presenter mode, so I can't see it. I'm the owner of the room, and I'm still learning about Zoom, so.
I think you can put in settings that it will be automatically without people hanging there.
You're totally right. I just don't know how, and I don't know if now is the best time to do it. Let me see. I don't know. I would figure it out after class, but I think that's a much better method. Thank you. Okay, let me keep going here. I don't know everyone was in class last week. I know that Anna, were you in? Did you get to listen to the? Yeah, you had a time thing. Marina was. I know she was. Okay, Marina Larnmark of
Yes, I was.
Netherlands currently. Your turn, okay? Don't mind me while I mess with technology here. Okay. All right. Okay, second column, first row, Marina. What is that?
Ka.
Is there Marina?
Ka.
Oh, sorry. Everyone else mute your mic. Just, you can practice, but okay. Say it again, Marina. Larnmark.
Ka.
Good. Ka. Just let air out. You don't be like, for good. I got the point. Okay. Labial fourth row, first column.
Sorry to interrupt. Do you mind to let in people into the group? Sorry, there's like a lot of people waiting to get in. Can you just accept them, please? And again, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Aizan is out.
Are there people waiting though? I don't see it. Hold on. I apologize. Oh, technology.
Maybe it's easier word if you make a co-host from anybody that can do that while you are teaching. And in this way, we don't interrupt.
I think those things would be much easier if I knew how to make a co-host.
Go
Just
to
do a right click on somebody.
Okay.
Somebody's name, right click.
Okay. Ajahn,
Oh,
you mind doing it, Ajahn?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I appreciate that. Okay, well then we'll just delay here for some technical issues. That's fine, right? I don't always have to be perfect, right? It's one of my things I'm getting over. Make host. Wow, I learned. Thank you, students. Wow, here's another. Here's the growing. Okay, Ajahn, do that thing that was suggested by Natasha Loganova,
Yes.
which Anna
Yeah,
helped.
I will.
Look, I even received help. It's amazing. Okay. Okay, let's try this again. I'm out of presenter mode because it was. Wait, are you host or no? Okay, now we have another problem. Ajahn. Now I'm not the host. Ajahn, are you there?
Jean, could you please make word? Yeah.
I did it.
Okay, so either one of you can be host. That's strange.
Yes.
I can't share my screen now.
You are the host now, Verd.
Oh, God. Thank you for your patience. Maybe taking Tibetan class isn't all about learning Tibetan. Maybe it's somewhat about practicing the stuff we're learning in Dharma class. Okay, let's try this again. Very calmly without getting annoyed. Okay, can you see that? Okay, Marina? Okay, I'm not putting in presenter mode because then I can't see other things. Okay, so first column, second row, please.
Should I say?
What's that?
Should I say?
This one? Can you say that?
Yeah. Cha. Cha.
No air, no air. Cha,
Cha.
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 Okay, good. Okay, all that work for that. Thank you so much. Who's
Thank
next?
you.
Somebody volunteer. Natasha Loganova, hi.
Hi.
I volunteered you. Okay, tell me this one, please.
Pa. Pa.
Good. Okay. Oh, we haven't done those. Good. Tell me this one, please.
Ta.
Perfect. Good job. And tell me this one, please. Try it again.
Da.
Good. Okay, good job. Yay. Awesome. Okay. Okay, that's enough pop quiz. Everyone passes. Woohoo! All right, so that's the alphabet. Please keep watching the videos. Use your flashcard. And we're going to move on. So we're moving on to the fourth column of the Tibetan alphabet. Okay, so in the fourth column, we only highlight the first 4 rows because the 5th row does not follow the rule, okay? So the first 4 rows do follow the same pattern of being guttural, palatal, dental, and labial. Those are fancy linguist words for from your throat, meaning guttural, from your palate, the top part of your mouth, from your teeth, dental, and using your lips, labial. And that just means where the sound is inflected from, so like how the sound is made, okay? And I encourage you as you're learning Tibetan and other languages as well to notice what's happening, because especially if it's your mother tongue, you probably don't even notice what you're doing with the language because you learned it when you were a baby and you weren't as conscious as you are as an adult now. But as an adult, you can notice what's happening and use that feedback, that muscle memory and recognition to more quickly learn. So I encourage that. So the 4th column is all nasal, meaning you send air through your nose to make the sound. The first row is guttural nasal. It's ng, and it's in a low tone. So this sound is sometimes difficult for a lot of Westerners to make because, as far as I know, like the Latin languages, French, Spanish, I don't know about Romanian, but I suspect you don't have this as an initial sound, meaning it doesn't start a word, right? In English, we have it as a sound to end words. It ends like pretty much every verb in English in its infinitive form. Running, dancing, talking, teaching, and so forth. That ing is made in the back of the throat. And if you make it, try it, say running. Okay? But since you're not used to making that as initial sound, sometimes it's difficult. So you make the same exact movement with your back of your throat, right? But it's initial sound. So you say, no tongue. Look, my tongue is not touching the roof of my mouth. Okay, if your mouth is closing and your tongue is touching the roof of your mouth, you are, by definition, saying the dental, because that's the one you're used to saying. So you touch the roof of your mouth right behind your teeth to do it. But it's not na, it's ng. Okay? So that is the first row, 4th column sound. And it's in Tibetan, this is this lovely symbol here. And the transliteration, in ACIP transliteration, which is the system we're presenting here, it's NGA. Wonderful. So next, we have actually, yeah, I'll keep going. And so next we have the palatal. So this sound is only in English in a few choice places, like the word onion or the word canyon. It's quite often in Spanish. In Spanish, it's its own letter called ñ. So it's in many words in the Spanish language. Like año means year, okay? For instance. So Spanish speakers have an easier time with this one. Some English speakers have a harder time with it. I'm not aware if it is in Russian or Ukrainian. So it's, no?
We don't have difficulties with this.
Okay, good. Okay. So it's just your tongue basically goes over the roof of your mouth without touching your teeth. Oh, it's nya, 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 nya. And you just send air through with your nose. Nya, nya. Okay? So it's pretty easy for most folks. So next we have this this na sound, which is in English and it's very common. It's in, I think, every language I've ever studied to date has this one in it. So it's pretty easy should be pretty easy for all of us to learn. So we say na, na, na. And so we got to make sure to say it in a low tone, because if you don't say it in a low tone, it takes on a different meaning. All of these do. So nga means I, nga, nga. That means like I, meaning me. While nga can mean drum, before, or the number 5 in the Tibetan language. So you have to be careful, because at least in English, we use tone to reflect our feeling, right? If I say no, that means, okay, I would not like it. If I say no, that means I would not like it and I'm somewhat excited or angry about it, correct? So that's connotative as well as denotative. So in tonal languages like Tibetan or Mandarin Chinese or Cantonese, tone is also used to reflect denotation, meaning the dictionary definition of the word. Okay, much more so in Mandarin or Cantonese than Tibetan, but still it is there. So nya means fish. Nya means the back part of my neck. Na means if. Na means ear or nose. Okay, so just be careful with tone when the nasals. So make sure to keep them low. And there are going to be cases where you have to make sure they're high. So as you learn how to read Tibetan, I'll point out those cases so that people don't think you're saying if that thing smells when you're really saying I smell that thing or something, right? Weird stuff like that happens, right? And don't worry, we all make mistakes. Okay, so now our fourth row, fourth column is ma. Okay, so ma is often the first sound that many people learn to make, and hence it's the sound that means the person that gave birth to you, right? That's not a coincidence, or it is a coincidence, right? It's not a coincidence without cause, right? So, and in Tibetan as well, ma or ama means mother, as well as many languages. I could name 5 off the top of my head, but there's probably many, 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 many more. I think it's a lot of languages. And pa, which is also a labial, which is pretty easy to say, means, dear old dad. Okay, so ma means mother. It can also mean not in Tibetan. It can also be a particle after a word that can denote some kind of femininity to a noun, and also just can be a particle without gender, but it means like, it basically makes the word a noun or something like that. Okay, so but ma, high tone, means like a cut or a wound or a festering sore, right? So you don't want to say I love my festering sore when you really, want to say I love you, mom, right? That'd be embarrassing. Okay, I'm trying to save you from embarrassment next time you go to Tibet. Okay, let's see. Do we have all of those? Sorry to make this thing. I'm only using it. Let me just go back to this one then. Okay, so now we're going to practice all of this together. How can I see all the faces at once for the Zoom call? Somebody instruct me.
I don't think you can when you're sharing your content.
Oh, okay, that's why I can't. Okay. Thank you. All right, so we're gonna play a little game here, okay? You're gonna tell me whether the sound I'm making is in the first, second, third, or fourth column, okay? All right. And we're gonna play mixed nut style, so just
Word, I want to add that if you have two devices going, that's one way to have both content and to see people.
say again, add what?
If you add a second device, you can have one where you're looking at your content and one where you're seeing people. That's why I often use two devices.
Oh, okay. Maybe for next time. I don't want to take more time with the technology, but thank you so much for that suggestion.
Sorry for interrupting. Someone is waiting in the waiting room.
Yes,
Can
someone,
you give some access, please?
yes.
Thank you.
Okay. I might have to stop sharing.
Say them, we don't admit anymore. Frankly, half an hour passed.
I know, it's okay. How long ago did the Buddhists get enlightened? Here we are, still whiling away in samsara. At least me. You're all angels. Okay. All right. Okay. Good enough. We're gonna play our game. So just yell out. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'll give you the answer and you'll know if you're wrong or not. So I'll say the sound. Just say first, second, third, or fourth column. Okay? Ready? Okay. Here we go. Go.
First.
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 Ka. Ka.
Third.
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 Fourth.
Fourth. Sa.
Second.
Second.
Good. Ka.
First.
First.
First. Good. Ta.
Third.
Third.
Good. Ha.
Second.
Second. Second.
Second. No.
First.
Fourth.
None of them.
Could be not.
None of them. It was with the ratak or something.
Yeah.
Neither of them is not.
You gotta be careful.
Now
Okay.
it's head letter.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay, I got you on that one. Okay. But good. Y'all did good. Yay! Good job. Okay, so remute the microphone. Okay, so good. So then our outlier here is wa. It's in the fourth column, fifth row, and it doesn't follow the patterns of being a nasal or being an affricative. And it is the least used letter in the Tibetan alphabet as being a the main letter of a word. Okay? Okay, good. So now moving on. So now the Tibetan alphabet kind of changes its pattern somewhat into a pattern of following rows as opposed to following columns. So for the sixth row, it follows a lower tone. So just like the fourth column nasal was low tone, the sixth row is also low in tone. So a note on the difference between transliteration and transpronunciation. So again, transliteration is when you create a code in one language or alphabet to denote sounds of another language or alphabet. And that includes foreign sounds that aren't made in that alphabet's language. So you have to find clever ways to represent those sounds that will not be understood by a usual reader of that alphabet unless they take mixed Nuts Tibetan Alphabet with Wordsmith for 6 weeks. You know, they have to be trained or something like that. Okay, so this is the case. This row uses the Z, which in American English, right? The Z, they say Z in English, right? And Canada too, right? Doesn't mean you say z, 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 z. So you're not saying ja or za. You're saying, at least in Lhasa dialect, we're being trained in the dialect from the center of Tibet, because there's many dialects of Tibetan, some of which are mutually unintelligible, meaning someone from one part of the country cannot understand someone from another part of the country. And they're both speaking Tibetan, okay? So what is the shared language? It's actually the literary Tibetan is the shared part, right? So I'm basically teaching you, I like to call newscaster Tibetan, right? Every country you go to, if you want to know like the base language, the most standard form of the language, listen to the newscasters, right? They tend to have zero accent, and they tend to talk in a very standard version of the language, right? So somewhat educated, but not overly educated, where you can't understand them because they use words that are too big, somewhere in the middle, correct? So that's newscaster. So we're teaching you newscaster Tibetan, as far as I know. So these are all low in tone, and the Z's are just S's. Okay, so say sha, 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 low tone. Say sa, sa, low tone. Okay, this is low tone. Ah, ah. Okay, a reminder, as I stated last time, and is written on this slide by the wonderful person who made it. I believe it was Lydia, or maybe it was someone else. I forget. Maybe it was John. Who made this slide? I don't know. The A sound is in every Tibetan letter in its basic form. They all have an A in them in the transliteration, as well as an ah when you say the sound. Got it? They all have an A. So the symbol that represents each letter, that doesn't change no matter what form that's taking, because later we're going to learn vowels and such, is everything but the A. So this K is in essence the symbol for this letter. Okay, that won't change. So Ka is represented by a K, and in its base form, that's going to be with an A. Okay, so, and that's with every letter, okay, including this one here, and later this one, because it confuses people. I've been confused by it, so I'm making sure you're not confused by it. So what represents this letter? Anybody?
Apostrophe?
Low tone is
Yes.
ah.
Whoever said apostrophe, who was that? Ina? Who was that? I don't know. If it was Ina, then yes. If it wasn't, then yes. It's the apostrophe. It's that little mark we call in English an apostrophe, okay? That is the letter. So if you see that little apostrophe, it's not a typo, and you need it, okay? Because later you're just gonna see the apostrophe and you'll be like, oh, what's that for? That's this letter. The apostrophe and that letter are equivalent. In its base form, it has an A after it, along with all of these, right? Got it? Okay, good. You're like, why did he say all that? I'm trying to save you trouble later. Okay, you don't know what trouble is because you didn't get to later yet. But I did.
I'm already.
Ina got to later, so she knows what I'm talking about. Okay. Okay, good. So just say ah. Good. That's all. Now say ya. Okay. This whole row has versions which are high in tone. So you have to say them low tone. If you say sha, it means hat or deer. If you say sha, it means meat. Okay? So sha is deer meat. Okay? But you don't want to wear your hat. You don't want to wear meat on your head, right? Shamo, that would be meat on your head. Shamo is a hat on your head, okay? So be careful. Same with ZA. Sa. Sa is very important. What does sa mean? Anybody? Ina, Ijon, somebody.
Food or
Yeah, to eat, right? Inversion mean food, like say, right?
Mhm.
Exactly. So sa means to eat. Sa means dirt. Okay, so you don't want to go to the restaurant and order dirt, right? And you don't want to do the reverse, because sa also means like bodhisattva level, because dirt meaning ground or earth or level. Where does this sa most famously in? You've all heard it.
Sajang.
Huh?
Sajang.
Sajang. I don't know what that means. What's sajang?
I think she means sojong.
Ah, yeah.
Oh no, that's different. So,
Purifying.
oh no, sojang, that's different. So means to repair, and it's so not sa. You might have heard this before. Sashi, puki, jokshin.
Yeah, sushi.
Yeah.
Sushi.
Yeah. So it's sa shi, right?
Me.
High tone means earth. Shi, low tone, means foundation, like kunshi, right? So the great earth, the earth that's the foundation of everything in this realm, meaning the planet Earth or something. Okay? Meaning the mandala earth, because you're doing the mandala offering. Okay? But if you said sa-shi, you'd mean I want to kill the earth. Or if you said sa-shi, you'd be like, I want to kill my food. So you got to be careful. Okay? You'll get it one day. Don't worry. Okay, seventh row. So seventh row is medium tone. I've also heard high tone. It's just higher in tone than the previous row. Okay, at least. And like all these sounds I'm making, just so you know, I'm exaggerating them. When you hear a Tibetan say them, it doesn't sound like people aren't like ka. Okay, but it's just like learning dancing or martial arts or anything you do with your physical body. The teacher or piano, like a musical instrument, you have to exaggerate, or it's too subtle for the student to get when they're first starting, right? Like a kid, kids, it's kind of a joke in America. Kids say spaghetti instead of spaghetti. I don't know why. It's a thing. So you have to be like spaghetti, right? To teach them, right? Otherwise they're gonna be like, what? I said pescetti. I said pescetti, right? Because they can't hear it because their ear isn't trained, right? Or they don't have the seeds, right? Okay, so seventh row, medium tone. The first one is a little hard for some folks because Tibetans roll their R a little bit, just like Spanish speakers. Spanish speakers roll their R's more than Tibetans, but you have to roll. So for some people, it's hard. People who are native tongue in some East Asian languages like Korean, Mandarin Chinese, and Japanese, for instance, they don't have the same R or don't have an R at all. So it's hard for them. Some people just don't get, me and my sister joke around because she's very smart and good at languages and stuff, but she can't roll her R's. So her Spanish sounds funny no matter how much she learns, okay? So she's like, I can't do it, right? So there's ways to practice. Like in Spanish, they have like little like tongue twisters you can learn if you can't roll your R, because it's like a speech impediment if you're Mexican, right? It's just fun for us, but you sound, I mean, let's see. Perro means but. Perro means dog in Spanish, okay? So you don't want to be trying to, people can wonder why you're asking, using the disjunctive all day, but you're trying to say their dog is cute, right? Okay? So in Tibetan, they'll probably understand you. You'll sound funny if you don't roll it, right? So just roll it a little bit as best you can. So it's ra, 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 ra. So the way that the English R is made, right? The consonant R is from the back of your throat, right? Like a dog growling or something. To make the roll, the trill, just tap your tongue on the roof of your mouth. That's all really happens. Ra, 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 right? I mean, if you really want to roll it, you have to let air pass through while you're pressing your tongue on the roof of your mouth.
What about Russian Ra? Is it Ra?
It is Tibetan, Ajahn.
It is something in between English and Russian.
Yeah.
Oh, it is correct. It is like in Russian and Tibetan.
Yes, Russian R sounds pretty good to me. Okay.
Sorry, R. Okay.
Good.
Okay, then.
So Russian, Spanish speakers, you got this. English and Japanese speakers, we got some work. Okay. Okay. So now, next is just say la. Okay, that's it. Next. So these are the ones that aren't like the last row. So we have to say sha, high tone. And sa, high tone. Again, sha means meat. Yaksha, yak meat. Rasha, jasha, bird meat or chicken. Nyasha, fish meat. Okay, like that. And again, sa. So yes, Sachu is the 10 bodhisattva levels, right? Sachu is the 10 things for dinner. Okay, so we gotta be careful. Good. Hope everyone's having fun. I am. Geshel's right. It's more fun to teach than learn.
That's true.
No, it's just being a student takes a certain amount of focus, and when you're teaching, you're just focusing on you, which is what everybody wants to do. Okay, so say so for the 8th row, which is only half a row because there's 30 Tibetan letters, and 4 times 7 plus 2 is 30. Okay, so say high tone, ha, ha, good. And then high tone, ah, ah, ah. And there's some big argument in Tibetan. Is this last letter a letter because it is actually the sound that is inherent in all the sounds? And I don't know why they argue about that, but they do. And it is a letter for our purposes, okay? And if you see the word or the letters A-O together in Tibetan, that's not ow, it's just O. If you see A-I, it's not I, like diphthong, it's not 2 letters together. It's this letter, but with an I after it. So it just means I, because the A is like the apostrophe here, right? Meaning it just represents the letter, okay? It's not made to be pronounced. Anyway, that's the whole thing. I'll teach you when I teach you the vowels. Okay, let's practice these. Okay, we're gonna play the same game. except with the last 3 rows. Okay, so here we go. Everyone ready? Okay, I think you're pretty ready. So I'm gonna say, and you just call out what row it is, okay? Here we go. Sha.
Third one.
Third.
Oh, what row?
No, 7.
6, 7, or 8 for this one.
7.
7.
Good,
Mhm.
good. You guys got it. Good.
6.
6.
6.
6. Listen again.
7.
6.
6.
Yeah.
6. Oh.
Yeah.
6.
6.
Huh?
6.
6.
6. Yeah.
Yeah. There's only one yeah. So okay.
8.
Yeah. Good. Someone's having a party at your house. That's a party. Okay.
6.
7. But yeah. Okay. Yeah.
8.
Yeah.
6.
6.
6.
It was another.
No, yeah.
That's
Yeah. Yeah. It's high tone. Yeah. Neither.
okay. Everyone mute their mic again. Thank you. Mute. Okay. It's more fun to be at the party than listen to it over Zoom. Okay. Good. So yeah, so that is the 30 letters of the Tibetan alphabet, which isn't really an alphabet, it's a syllabary, but nobody knows what a syllabary is, so we just call it alphabet. Syllabary means syllables, okay? So, let me see. I want to say something about this. Yeah, just make sure to emphasize, don't get confused between the pronunciation and how it's written, which we call transliteration. Those of you who are helping with the videos for the Mixed Nuts class know that we also have a way of writing them that is just easy for people just to read if they don't have training. And so I call that transpronunciation. It's my new word. I hope it catches on in the whole linguist scene. It just means writing it down the way it sounds, as opposed to writing it down the way you want it technically to be pronounced based upon some training that you have. Okay? Oh yeah, so these are all what we call main letters, meaning in Tibetan. Now we're going to move on. You can add things to the main letter to make it sound different and to make whole words. Because today and last time we're just doing simple syllables. And some of these simple syllables can actually be words. Like nga, low tone, does mean I, like me, myself. Nya, low tone, means fish. Na, low tone, means if. Ma, low tone, can mean mother or not, or particle. And there's many others, okay? So so it can be, all these can be main letters in a word. So the word is actually formed, or the rest of the syllable is formed around this main letter, Okay, so you got to know that main letter. In Tibetan, it's Ming Shi. Ming just means name or word, and Shi, again, Kun Shi, Sa Shi means like the foundation by which the rest of the word is formed around. Okay, and it used to be more important to know what the main letter is, and now it's less important. Ina, why is that?
Because we have ACIP transliteration.
Almost. Because nobody uses dictionaries anymore. Everyone just
Oh, yes. Yeah. Because in the dictionary, it is arranged according to main letter and not the first letter in the word.
Yes, exactly. In Tibetan, the alphabetical order is ka through a, but then when you start going through vowels, head letters, subscribed letters, prefix letters, suffix letters, secondary suffix letters, which is everything this course teaches, you have to know what order to put all those things in so you can find it in a dictionary. But now we just use Gopher or Google to look it up, and it don't matter anymore. You don't need to know what the main letter is necessarily, unless you're making bibliographies for your mixed nuts translation, and then you do. Okay, so I'm going to teach you guys so that when it comes time for your translations, you can put the bibliographies in the correct order. Okay. But until then, it's completely useless. No, it's fun to learn. But it's just that computers, like many other things, computers have obviated that need. Okay. Okay, good. So you have to know main letter. And there's 20 of these words, 10 of these letters that can only be used as the main letter. Meaning when you go on to learn head letters, subscribed letters, prefix letters, suffix letters, secondary suffix letters. Some of these, 10 of these can be used for those, but 20 of them are only used as main letters. Okay? Okay, you guys have no idea what I'm talking about. That's fine. Neither do I. I think, oh, this is a nice one. Oh, these are words you already know in Tibetan. Someone made this. I think it might have been the lovely Lydia. This is what I was just saying. I thought she had a main letter thing, but maybe she doesn't. Maybe she does and I don't see it here. Okay. That's the idea. I'll show you something with that anyway. It's not something that has to be emphasized. Okay, it's 11. Just so you know, I did send the class 11:15 if you didn't read the lovely email that I wrote. Okay, so now we're going to do vowels. Yay! Let me pull up that lovely PowerPoint. If I can find this PowerPoint, come on. PowerPoint. Okay, you might skip the PowerPoint because, you know. Okay. We're just gonna use my original document because I like it. Okay. And the lovely Ijon helped refine this document. Thank you, Ijon. Okay, so this is and all these numbers just, it's the order of every single base syllable in Tibetan. Okay, somebody asked me a question and then I went crazy and made this whole slide because that's what happens when people ask me questions. Just so you know, question askers, I'm relentless when asked a question. So unless it's important, don't ask me. Or just ask me. Okay, fine. Okay, so in Tibetan, the way you make the vowel sounds is by adding little markers on the base letter, okay? And that marker then changes the inherent ah sound that is in all 30 of the Tibetan letters to the sound denoted by that marker. This system is also used in, at least in Sanskrit, I believe Thai uses it as well. And I think Arabic does, but I'm no Arabic scholar, so I might be wrong, but somebody can tell me if that's true, who knows Arabic. Okay, so this little mark here above the ka is called a giku. Say giku. Yes, and giku, I don't know what it means. It kind of looks like the little mark on top of the thing, okay? And so this is where it gets confusing in English. Listen closely. So in English, it represents the letter I. The letter I. The sound it makes is E, right? So don't be confused by that. The letter I is the transliterated version of the giku marker. The sound E is how it sounds, right? Because in English, the letter I can sound like E or it can sound like I, right? Confusing, but not in Tibetan. It only sounds like E ever, okay? Wait, there might be an exception. I'm pretty sure. Okay, good. So in Tibetan, there's a thing called jolok. Say jolok. Yes. What does Neumjor mean?
Yoga.
Yay, who was that, Uta?
Yes.
Good job, Uta. Okay, so Uta, smarty pants. What does the jor in Neumjor mean? Come on. Nothing? It's okay. Huh?
I forgot.
Oh, no worries. I'm just messing with you. Jor, so jor means it means to join, or like yoga, like yuj, right? To join. Yoke, union, juntos in español, to connect, to put together. Jar, like jarstick in Tibetan is related. It's glue, like the stuff that joins things. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so jorlok means lok means to read, like read out loud, and jorlok means to join things together and read it out loud. It just means to spell, okay? So this is ka, kiku, ki. Okay, that's jorlok. So literally what I said was ka plus kiku equals ki. But they don't say the plus or the equals. They say ka, kiku, ki. And if you've ever been to like a Lam Rim with Geshe Michael, once in a while, one of the nerds would be like, Jolok, because Tibetan has a lot of homonyms like Chinese or Japanese. And you know, in Chinese or Japanese, you would just write the character like, well, which one? And you show them by writing the character, right? Because that is the distinct differentiating thing between the sounds, right? I think Chinese only has 408 phonemes, right? Sounds, but then it has thousands of characters, meaning the same sound is used for different characters, right? With completely different meanings. Okay, the same in Tibetan. You have to know how to spell the thing, right? Like tok can mean to have this crazy idea that makes no sense, and tok can also mean the direct perception of ultimate reality. Complete different, diametrically opposed meanings. To have an idea that makes no sense and to understand all of reality. Okay, same exact sound. So you have to say jolok. So one is ratata ta naro to ka sa to. Realization, direct perception of reality, as opposed to ratata ta naro to ka to, meaning I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay? So you have to learn how to jolok for these reasons. All right, and this is what all Tibetan like 5-year-olds learn. They say, right? Like we say C-A-T, cat, right? All right, in English at least. I don't know what they're doing in the Ukraine to learn spelling, but that's what we do, or used to do at least. I'm old now. Okay, so ka giku ki. All right, and it follows that pattern. And make sure you say the sound correctly of the original word. So ka giku ki, right? For this one, ka giku ki. All right, nga giku ni. All right. I'm going to get through the vowels today, so I'm going to keep going. So for all those, basically, you just have to know the original sound, right, of that term, of that letter, and the name of the vowel and the sound it makes. And that's your homework for next time. You have to know all the vowels, the sounds they make, and you have to be able to jolok, right? Which is what I just did. And I'll give examples. I'm not going to do all 30 for each because that will take too long. I'll leave it to your intelligence to understand. Just say the name of the vowel after the original thing and then make new sound. Okay, so the next, am I doing this right? Yes. The next vowel is called shopkyu. What does shop mean? And Ina. Hi, John.
It's hook.
Yeah, Q means hook. Perfect. What does shop mean?
A leg? Horrific.
Yeah, leg or foot. Exactly. Perfect. Okay, so shopku makes the U sound. So you say ka, shopku, ku. Ka, shopku, ku. Ka, shopku, ku. Okay? So shop is low tone. Q. All right? And that's U sound. So it's represented by the English U, and it makes an U, right? Which follows. Did I skip Naro? Sorry, this thing acts funny sometimes. No, I didn't. Naro's last. Okay, good. Just making sure. All right, so next is say Trengbu. Trengbu. Right, so for that, you got to kind of curl your tongue back a little. If you know Chinese, like you're from Beijing. If you know Sanskrit, like you're saying a retroflex. Or Trengbu. Okay, so Treng, what does Treng mean?
To raise a flag up.
Yeah, who said that?
I did.
Oh,
Marina.
oh wow. One of my grandchildren. My grandson. Who taught you that?
I studied.
You studied? What? That's don't understand this studying thing. No, good job.
I'm preparing.
Good, good. So yeah, it just means to raise up or stand up, or something like that. And bu means like a little mark or something. So Trang bu, which is this mark above the ka, is represented by the letter E and makes the eh sound, okay? So we say ka, Trang bu, ke, right? Ka, Trang bu, ke, okay? Ka, Trang bu, ke, okay? And just a note, I'm not even sure if all these syllables, these are all possible syllables, but I'm not sure if all of them are actually even words, okay? I'm pretty sure not every single one is. But it's just like in English, you could put a bunch of letters together and be like, oh, that should sound like that, but that's not actually a word, right? So this is just an exercise, and some of them are words, and some of them aren't. Like this, that's impossible. There's no dengbu, eh. So just a note for you all, if you wonder, so you don't feel misled later. Okay, 1 minute left and one vowel left. Here we go. So the last vowel is naro, and naro means like a bull's horns. So it kind of looks like a bull's horns. I don't know, or a seagull flying away. If you enjoy seagulls like that, you know what I'm talking about? Come on, we've all drawn seagulls. So we say ka naro ko. Okay, ka naro ko. Ka naro ko. Nga naro ngo. And like that. Okay, so that's naro. It sounds like o, and we use the English o to transliterate it. All right, and that brings us to the end of our class. And it's 11:15. So thank you all. If some of you can stay longer, I'll answer questions. I don't mind staying a few more minutes. Especially since I started late, I apologize. I did have a bit of an emergency, and I'm still in the middle of that emergency, so I have to take care of that right as class is ending here. And I apologize again for my technical difficulties. I'm just learning to use Zoom due to being locked in the house for 3 months and having no other way to annoy people with Tibetan, but then over this medium. So we will do a mandala, and then anybody who has a question can stay and answer it. And I thank you so much for your attention. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Ina?
Yes, I'm here.
Mandala.
Sashi puki jukshin metok tram rira blinshi nyendegen pade sange shintu mikte uparge troku namdak shinvachu parsho idam guru ratna mandala kamniretayami Gevadi kevokum sunam yeshe tsogzokshin sunam yeshe lejunve dampa kunita parsho.
Yay! Rejoice, we did it.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So, if you have a question, you can go. If you have a question, stay.
See you next week.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, Word. Where are we sending the donation?
Directly in my bank account.
An account?
I accept hundreds and thousands. No amount is too small. too big. I'm joking. Send it to, go to diamondcutterclassics.com. I put it in the email. I will add you to the emails. It's the Mixed Nuts website, diamondcutterclassics.com. You got it, Uta?
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Take care. Bye. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good.
Welcome. Okay, any questions before I leave? Everyone has it perfect.
They will have when we'll start reading.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Yeah, I did order the book, so I'm waiting for it to come now. For learning Tibetan.